Hi, I'm Martha Eddy of Dynamic Embodiment, and I'm just finished teaching a Moving for Life class, which is free and online, so I hope you will enjoy moving with me in a standing or seated position. Now I'm sharing with you from Dynamic Embodiment the work I've been doing with resetting the nervous system with the Shift Network, and also my classes with dance therapists and conferences at the Yale Embodied Cognition Symposium, which involves activating the cranial sacral rhythm, engaging the breath, working with multiple diaphragms, as well as palming with the eyes. They can be done in different orders and different ways. And I'm on my knees right now because I'm going to show you what it's like to start on the floor with a closing and opening activity from Bartenia Fundamentals that is quintessential for breath and the adrenal glands. We talk about this a lot in Dynamic Embodiment of the Sun Salutation, we being Shakti smacking myself. Dynamic Embodiment of the Sun Salutation. Breathing into the adrenal glands and letting them rest. So using the ground to rest. So this is Bartenia's opening and closing exercise, which Peggy Hackney and I renamed core distal connectivity. And this, some people call X's and O's. What's really important is that we're breathing through this diaphragm. And soon I'm going to sit up and I'm going to come back to kneeling and just say that all of this can be seated or standing. I've got the chair here to show you that we use a lot of the floor to come to standing, but also it's fine to use the chair. So now I'm going to play with the dynamic embodiment of calming the nervous system by asking you to find breath from your pelvic floor and feet, through your thoracic diaphragm, through your thoracic outlet, which is what I learned when I studied and worked together with John Upledger, and then also the thoracic diaphragm can align with the vocal cords, the vocal diaphragm. And then in the cranial sacral rhythm, we have the cranial sacral sac, the dura mater, and it has resting points that are also horizontal. And even the brain has the corpus callosum. So right now, I'd like you to feel your feet, feel your sit bones, align your pelvic floor with your thoracic diaphragm, with your breath plunging down into the belly, but also lengthening upward through the thoracic region, upper thoracic, into the throat area and the diaphragm of the vocal cords, closing the glottis and opening it to make sound. And then finding what tilt of the head feels good at the top of your vertebra. So breathing now from your nose into your diaphragm, letting it plunge and allowing the thoracic diaphragm to help you exhale outward. There's a lot more we can do with all those diaphragms, including emphasizing how breathing in the feet work through the blood and through the earth. Now we're going to play with the head going forward and pulling through those nerves that are surrounded with fascia from the sac of the cranial sacral system, bringing us into internal rotation in the front and widening in the back, something Irmgard Bartenieff taught so clearly. Now you can just start gesturally, but I'm going to ask you to start with your head as the gesturing part, moving into postural movement and letting it widen your shoulders and widen your hips. And just feel the slowness of this rhythm to help calm your nervous system. Breathing out, feeling the diaphragms moving, resting here You can even really rest over your thighs and let the adrenal glands and any adrenaline move and balance through your body. Deep breaths, slow exhales really help. And then again, letting your head lead, coming up. You could do any of these for 10 or 15 times or go much slower, or take them into some other movements, this rhythm of contemplative movement. So just one more time, I'm going to ask you to bring your head down, your hips lean back a bit, and put your elbows on your knees and palm. Rest your eyes. Take time to integrate any occurrences from your day that might have caused stress or might have felt intense for you. And just give your forehead a little bit of a lift. In other words, tug a little bit upward towards your hairline. And think about whatever is going on. Just let whatever comes up come up. But let the stress melt away. You might see gray, you might see colors. Just be with that. Those are after images. And in our eye classes, we go deeply into the experiences of the eyes. I'm now using the cranial sacral rhythm to lift my head again. This time I'm going to let my arms open as my knees open. And that's the end for today. But again, any of these parts can be done in different ways. And in our dance classes, like BodyMind Dancing, we take this rhythm into all sorts of fun places, including balancing, stretching, lengthening, making shapes, expressing different feelings. So I hope you'll join us for any part of this, knowing that we do things standing, sitting, and lying down in our eye classes, our dance classes, and our dynamic embodiment somatic movement classes. You can find us at dynamicembodiment.org, and you can go to the calendar for classes. Often the first class is free. And of course, we have our training programs for you to teach other people these really just calming, joyous experiences. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.